Shalom, Israel. So I've been doing a lot of research on Jesus, on the historical evidence for HaMashiach, and that came about because I was an atheist for years, and then I decided that I was going to read the Bible and prove it wrong. That's when I realized that I was wrong, and the Bible is a good historical, factual book. But to me, that wasn't really good enough, because as any good atheist, I'm just going to say nuh-uh when it comes to anything the Bible says. Like, we need something better. We need something more to prove to the naysayers. So my thoughts were, our court systems are modeled after Rome, right? Here in the United States of America, and really any Commonwealth nation out there, we all base our laws and our court systems off of England, what England did. And England bases their system off of what they got from the Romans when the Romans took over Britain and all that. I'm sure I'm saying stuff that everybody already knows. Maybe it's just not so fresh in your memory though. So my point is that if nowadays we keep such immaculate records of any court cases, I got in trouble when I was like 15 years old for giving false information to a police officer. I'm 40 now. They can still look that up. Like, it would be very easy for somebody right here in Denver, Colorado, to make a simple phone call to Winston, Oregon, and get my record from when I was 15 years old. Yeah, I had to be 15. So if we take such care to document everything that happens in court at this day and age, I figure there's got to be something from a few thousand years ago, right? And it turns out there is. There's a lot of somethings from 2,000 years ago, especially with the case as important and as big as the crucifixion of the Messiah. So I started looking into it, and go figure, I wasn't the first person who thought of looking into this. There are several books out there. There's even a movie out there. If you guys have like that, I think it's called PureFlix. Pretty sure that's what it is. It's like Netflix, but all the movies are super lame. But at least you can let your kids watch them without feeling bad. Oh, by the way, one of the books is called A Case for Christ. And that's the one they also made a movie out of. I want to say there might be like more than one Case for Christ movie. And there's definitely several books out there, but we're not going to go through all of those right now. But as I was going through this research, trying to find evidence real historical evidence, secular evidence for the crucifixion, or just the existence period of HaMashiach, or Jesus, right? So I came across a couple of really good books, right? The Acts of Pilate. I've shared a couple of those books that are in here. This other one here, Gesta Pilate, right? I don't speak Latin, so it doesn't do me a lot of good. But it's all translated. So, in, what was it, the year a long time ago, where is it at? I'm just going to start from the top. I'll read the little introduction, and then I'm going to read this whole thing, because, well, it's important, you'll see. All right, so Gesta Pilate. The following document is translated from the Latin text of a manuscript in the Vatican Library at Rome. It has hereunto not appeared in any of the translations of the writings ascribed to Pontius Pilate, as a specimen of the Latin is given in the pages immediately following. Man, this is not the one I wanted. Let's try that again. Back it up. This is the one I wanted. The death warrant of Christ. All right, now the beginning of that. The death warrant of Christ. Note, the sentence below is a translation from a Hebrew inscription on a copper plate. Remember that. It's a Hebrew inscription on a copper plate. Tablet, first discovered in AD 1200 while excavating for antiquities at Aquila, the site of the ancient Amatorium, or however you say that, whose ruins are still to be seen near St. Vittorino, 53 miles northeast of Rome. It was subsequently brought into prominence by Dominique Vivant Dion, the great French archaeologist born at Chalon-sur-Saône or something like that in 1747, died at Paris in 1825. On the reverse side of the tablet is inscribed, pay attention, on the reverse side of this tablet, they inscribed, a like plate is sent to each of the tribes for life, labors, etc. of Dion. See Encyclopedia Britannica, Volume 7, Art Dion. All right, now into the actual manuscript, or whatever you want to call it, into the plate, the carving, right? The inscription. This is the important stuff, because this is a record written on something metal so that it would last for at least 2,000 years, so me and you could be reading it today. And it reads, sentence rendered by Pontius Pilate, that Jesus of Nazareth shall suffer death on the cross. Sentence. In the year 17 of the empire of Tiberius Caesar, and the 24th of March, in the city of Holy Jerusalem, Ananias and Caiaphas, being priests, sacrificers of the people of God, I, Pontius Pilate, governor of the praetory, condemn Jesus of Nazareth to die on the cross between two thieves. The great and notorious evidence of the people, saying, first, he is a seducer. Second, he is seditious. Third, he is an enemy of the law. Fourth, he calls himself falsely the Son of God. Fifth, he calls himself the King of Israel. Sixth, he entered into the temple followed by a multitude bearing palm branches in their hands. Order the centurion Quintus Cornelius to lead him to the place of execution. Forbid any person whomsoever, poor or rich, to oppose the death of Jesus. The witnesses that signed the death of Jesus are, first, Daniel, a rabbi and a Pharisee. Second, Joannes, a rabbi. Third, Raphael, Rorable, which I don't even know what that means. Fourth, Capet, a citizen. Jesus shall go out of the city by the gate Saturnalius. That is what the Romans said happened, or at least the reason they gave of what happened. But the point is this is a court document found at Rome pertaining to the execution of Yahushua. None of these people claim that Yahushua was the Messiah, but they still wrote down what happened and why. If he didn't exist, why would they do that?